So welcome back. I'm doing another follow-up video on being in recovery from addiction, and I talked about 12 steps, the 12 steps, right? So when people hear about the 12 steps, there is an sometimes instant distaste for it, because it does have a faith-based origin, and that the tone and language of the 12 steps sounds religious. But for a lot of people who are in the 12 steps programming, they aren't always necessarily religious, and they may not, or that they may not be part of a Catholic or evangelical denomination. You can also be a person who is, I think the best way to describe it is agnostic, a person who believes in a higher power but doesn't know exactly what it is. And that is actually how, in most of the program language for the 12 steps now is framed. It's either God or a higher power, and higher power can be defined as any way you like it. Your higher power can be like, it can actually be the spaghetti monster, if you're familiar with that, a flying spaghetti monster, or your higher power can be your family or your grandmother, or I don't know, like a whole bunch of different symbols of your higher power. And so I know for the people who may think that it gets too preachy and religious, that it may be a turnoff, but I know from the way the meetings are run, particularly with many younger people in them, they don't turn into more of like a religious kind of redemption and forgiveness type of talk. It is very much focused on behaviors and actions. So if you're ever a person who's concerned that you may be turned off by some of the religious terminology, you can approach the 12 steps with a more secular perspective, changing the words so that they are better for you. That is totally acceptable. And so I think for anybody who wants to join in this group, you can read and interpret those principles and the steps themselves from your own perspective and from your own handling of recovery for yourself. So I'll talk more about the 12-step principles in my next video, and then we'll get into the actual steps.